Hi guys, welcome to the BHP Guru channel again. And today this is sort of a special video. I've been thinking of making this, making a video on this topic for a while now. So as you know, I've got a petrol automatic Thar and 4x4 of course, because that time there was only 4x4. I bought it in 2022 and I thought, and I've driven it about 19,000 kilometers, and I thought that I should make a video on it and tell you things that usually you would not hear on videos, reviews of popular publications and all that, because they are the ones who make reviews when their products are launched. Basically they also have long-term ones, but when you're living with the vehicle completely, as when it's been your primary vehicle for a long time, then it's a sort of a different experience, and I think I can give you a lot of information on this video. So stay tuned. I have made a list of stuff that are that I need to tell you about, and I've made this list because so that I don't forget anything that is important. I don't want to miss out anything from this video. And if you are excited about a Thar, or buying a Thar, or even if you are just fascinated by the vehicle as it is, or you're wanting to buy it in the near future, then this would be a good video, for you. A lot of information is going to be there in this, and also some of it would apply to the 5-door Thar also that's going to come. 5-door Thar is going to come on 15th August. That's what we have heard. 15th August is going to be launched this year, so that's about a month from now, because today is July 12th. And that would be probably one of the biggest launches of the year. Okay, it's going to be one super hyped, massive launch, and it's going to be booked for the whole, I don't know, year or couple of years in like 5 minutes or something. Anyway, let's get back to our 2-door, 3-door Thar, and let's talk about it. So I'm going to tell you. So I've broken down this into good things about the Thar, not so good things about the Thar, and bad things, basically plain bad stuff, that you wouldn't like, and I wish it was not there. So the bad things are going to come in the last, so you need to obviously watch the whole video. So I'm going to go through it quickly. I don't want to make it too long and lengthy and all that. I just want to make sure that you guys get the point from this video and have more information once this is done. So let's start with the overview. Okay, now overview is that it's an off-roader. It's a proper solid off-roader, and it can really take you places where other cars and SUVs, like the regular SUVs, the monocoque SUVs, cannot take you. Like it can go to places that Creta, for example, or a Grand Vitara or a Seltos would not be able to go to. That's something the Thar is. That said, Creta, Seltos, Grand Vitara, these are the SUVs that would really take you to 95% of the places. Very few places are the ones that they cannot go, and that's where the Thar will take you. So moving that out of the way, I'm going to start with the overview. Now let's start with the good things now. Design is solid. Mahindra has done a great job of taking inspiration from the Jeep Wrangler, and they have really done a great job making the Thar. It is Jeep used to have a collaboration, and that's how the Jeeps came into India. They had a collaboration with Mahindra. They say that the design would obviously become what the modern Thar is and what the modern Jeep Wrangler is, and that's what it has become now. So both are very similar in design. It's excellent. Whenever I park it, I look back at it and I'm just amazed to see how beautiful it looks. Mine is red in color, and it's just amazing. Rock solid, like I told you. As soon as the moment you're driving it on the road, you drive it off the road, the moment you take it down the road in dirt and off the road, that's when you realize, okay, this vehicle is made for this kind of surface, this kind of driving style. It's so good off the road that it's not that great on the road. It's fine, it's doable, it's manageable, it's comfortable, but the moment it goes off road, that's where it shines. The moment the road gets slippery, it shines. The moment it gets tough. So that is something that every Thar owner should actually try and try on their vehicle if they have a Thar. Rock solid off-road capabilities, excellent. Differential locks are there. So how the differential locks function is that basically when that one tire is up in the air, when you accelerate in a normal car, the tire in the air that starts spinning, and then no power is delivered to the tire that is stuck. So the power should be delivered to the tire that is stuck actually to take the car out. So what happens is the locking differentials lock the differential, and once it is locked, the power is sent to the wheel that is stuck and it comes out. It pulls the vehicle out. So that is something that is there. So it's got the RPM based differential in the back. So when it detects slip, automatically it locks. It doesn't have a button to lock like you have in Jeeps. And there's a brake locking differential in front, but that functions slightly differently. But they are good for 99.9% of situations that you might get stuck in. So differential locks are there. I believe that the differential locks are not anymore there in the petrol Thars in automatics, I believe, after the year 2023. So I think last year they removed them. So you need to check that, but they're still there in the diesel. Headlights and visibility, excellent. I love the regular halogen bulbs. They are yellow. They go with the style of the vehicle. They go the halogens, and I have not faced any visibility issues. I don't even have the fog lights, as in the extra PIA or light force. Those fog lights I don't have. I just have the regular ones. I love it. I don't like to change the headlights to Chinese ones because first of all they look bad and they are probably not very reliable also. Okay, headlights, visibility is good. Refined engines. So if you've seen Hormaz Sarabji's Autocar podcast that comes every Saturday, there's going to be one tomorrow, so you better see it. He spills out the beans on the best and the most amazing topics, automotive topics. He himself mentioned that when Mahindra made the engine plant, they really hit it out of the park. Basically, the engines the diesel engines especially are one of the best in the world. The 2.2 diesel M-Hawk is probably the best in the world, he says, and the petrol ones are also really good engines. So Mahindra has got fantastic engines right now. So refined engines. All the three vehicles, the XUV 700, the Scorpio N, and the Mahindra Thar, all have the same engines but with the different state of tune. So they give out different power, but overall they're the same block. So refined engines, excellent power. I used to drive the Skoda Laura for 10.5 years before I bought the Thar. It was 160 bhp Laura TSI petrol turbo. It was a very powerful car, and I don't miss that power after I drive the Thar. That is something that is really good about it. It's got a lot of power. Great features. Features are fantastic. It's got the tire pressure monitoring system also, which I never thought it would have. So I can see what the tire pressure is, and it comes on the display. As soon as you start the car, if the tire pressure is low on any tire, it immediately pops a warning. So that's really nice. Hill descent control is there. So you press a button, you're coming down the hill, it automatically brakes for you, automatically slows down the car. So you really don't have to do anything. You just have to hold the steering. It's pretty nice. Good. Something that you don't expect from a Mahindra. Lockers, I already told you. Rear view mirrors are controlled by, you don't have to bend down. So it's good to have it in a vehicle that is so hardcore sort of a vehicle, and you still have those little conveniences. That's nice. And then solid roof, hard top. So hard top is really nice. The roof is pretty strong. People can stand on it. At least one person can definitely stand on it and walk around. And I am not too heavy anyways. I'm less than 65 kilos. So figure that out for yourself, in case you want to do that. You can also stand there and you can, photographers, if you're a photographer and you want to take pictures, you can put your tripod up there. You can stand with the tripod and on the Thar, and you can take pictures with your nice fancy cameras. So that is one use case for photographers. Reliability. I'm continuing the good thing. So reliability is just amazing. It's a Mahindra. It costs very little to maintain. It's not given any problem at all. I have never gone to the service center and told them that this is not working or that is not working. It just works fantastically. It just switches on every time, switches off fine. I wake up in the morning, I need to go somewhere, I need to take a long drive. It switches on, it's fine. There are no lights, there is no European car complication, nothing like that. It's simple, it just works. So that's how it is. Service cost, I did, I think one major service, 19,000, yeah. So one or two major services I've done. 4,000, about 4,000 rupees with oil change, wipers change. It's very, very, very easy to maintain. Mahindra service is good. The guys are good. They pick up the car, they drop the car back, and they don't really charge anything for the pickup and drop. And the supervisors are good. The mechanics are good. They talk to you well. They're good chaps. So it's a pleasant experience with Mahindra service. I don't have a problem. Good set of basic accessories. So it's got, the basic accessories that have come with the vehicle. They are good. I don't know if an armrest comes, but that is something that should have been there. It's got the bug deflector, and it's got aesthetic accessories. It's got some bags, it's got some mats and all that. So that's decent. But I'm going to come to that in the not so good things and the bad things. Okay, so those were the good things about the Thar. Now we are going to talk about not so good things about the Thar. If you're planning to buy it, this is what you want to listen to. Thar is a very hyped vehicle, and it's just everybody just talks great about it and things like that. But it's not always great. Nothing is perfect. So let's talk about the not so good things. Mileage, city mileage. I have seen 7 kmpl, 8 kmpl. It's a petrol, automatic. 9 kmpl is something I get 9 kilometers per liter with AC in Pune traffic. And on the highway, I have seen without AC 13 and with AC 11. I believe people get 7 kmpl with AC in petrol. Diesel, I would increase 2 kilometers per liter for all these numbers. So 7 would become 9, 9 would become 10 or 11, and 11 would become 13, and 13 would become a little more possibly. But mileage, it's a heavy car. 1700 kilos is the weight of the petrol car. 1750 kilos is the weight of the diesel car, and it has got the aerodynamics of a bread box. So you can hear when you're driving it on the highway and you go above 80, 90, you can hear the wind hitting the windshield, and you can feel the resistance, something that you would not feel as much in a sedan or in a regular SUV. You will feel less of it. But the Thar, when you're going at 80, 90, it's got a almost about a 110 degree sort of a windshield, so it hits the wind pretty hard. So mileage is less. Bumpy ride. So if you're coming from a regular SUV or you're coming from a sedan, it jumps around a lot. First of all, its wheelbase it's a sub 4 meter vehicle, so its wheelbase is also less, and it bounces a lot because it is ladder frame vehicle. It's a ladder frame vehicle, so it's not a monocoque design. Monocoque vehicle is the one that is based on a car-like platform. Like the XUV 700 is a monocoque vehicle. The Scorpio N is a ladder frame model. So there's a chassis which is a frame of the vehicle, and on that the body is put. That's why it's a little higher from the ground, because the frame is there, and on top of that the body is there. And when you get into the car, you're climbing onto that, or to the height of that frame, and then getting inside the vehicle. So it's higher, and when it is higher, it shakes more, because anything that is on top would have a more would move around more, right? And if you're at the bottom, you would move around less. So that's what the Thar makes you feel after you coming to the Thar from a sedan, right? So you have to feel it. Take a long drive when you're planning to buy it. Take a long test drive. Mahindra people are very happy to give you the vehicle for half a day, and you can keep driving it and enjoying and seeing and comparing it with your existing vehicle. So remember that it's got a bumpy ride, especially when you have family and kids. They would get tired quicker than they would get tired in a car. So remember that. Space storage, there is absolutely very less storage. I always keep the rear seats down because I really don't have many people to sit in the car. I stay alone, and so my seats are always down, so I can have some more storage. But if you have 3 or 4 people in the car, there is a very less storage. Also, if something falls behind the front seats and in front of the back seat, it just goes in the black hole. It's very difficult to jump into the car and bend down and look for things that have gone under the seat. It's just really difficult, and it's very dark inside in that part of the car, that part of the vehicle. So it's like if you lose a bottle or you lose a pen or if you lose any small thing, it's very difficult to get it back out. So yeah, space is there. The 4-door, 5-door Thar would obviously solve that situation. Fit and finish is excellent compared to the last generation Thar, but it is still, I would say, not as great as the Japanese do it in the Jimny. The fit and finish is okay. The paint is pretty strong. Paint doesn't get scratched easily, but yeah, you definitely see those welds, little joints. Not as much as an old Thar, but slightly. I'm okay with it. I enjoy looking at the car as such. But if you're comparing it with Jeep Wrangler and that level of quality, it's not that. Not so good things are over. Now the bad things. Here it becomes interesting. Power window switches, the first thing. Power window switches are not at the door. Every time I'm still not used to it after more than 2 years of driving it. I always, when I want to push the window down, my right hand goes to the door and there is no switch there. The switches are in the middle, near the handbrake. So every time I do this, but I have to, look for them on the center console. So that is something that I'm not able to get used to it. Highway cruising ability, I already talked about. It's not great. In fact, it's okay. Like, I think I should have put it in not so good things, but this is where I've written it. Absence of an armrest. It should come with an armrest because it shakes a lot when you're driving, and when you because I told you, like, it's a smaller vehicle, and you sit higher, so it shakes a lot. It shakes you a lot, actually. So that is something I think should have been there, the armrest, so that you get some additional support from the armrest. And I've put an armrest, that the Bimra armrest that I've shown in my previous video. That was about 6,000, 6,500, but that is something that I cannot drive without anymore. Lack of OEM accessories. So I wish they would have provided a bumper which could fit a winch, which had slots for putting big fog lights and antennas or things like that. I also think that the rear bumper should have been such that you have a foot well in it, so you could put your foot and pull yourself up, and if you want to climb up, because when you have a Jeep, when you have a Thar, you do things on top of the vehicle, whenever you have a vehicle like this. So there is no easy way to just go up and jump up the vehicle. They should have given some hooks and handles and footwells for doing that. I really think that would come in the next generation Mahindra Thar. Pretty sure about that. They should have given some accessories like a ladder and winch bumper and more alloy options. They just have one alloy wheel. I also think that they should have given more mounting points. It's difficult to mount things without drilling on the roof. If you want to put a roof rack in the Thar, the front one, the one that comes on the front doors, the thin one, that you can mount without drilling. But I believe if you want the whole thing, then there is no way to put it. Like, you have on Jimny, for example, they have given all those accessories where you can actually put those little bars on the top, on the roof of the vehicle, and then mount things on that. Thar doesn't have any of that. So that is something they should have had. So really, bad things are not really bad. Not so good things are mileage, that is going to affect everyone, bumpy ride, and space. I think these are the main things that you need to worry about when you're buying a Thar. Overall, Thar has just really changed my life. It has really taken me to places where I would not have been able to go at all before, and I can see other vehicles parked somewhere, and the Thar can just go beyond. It can go further and take all of us further. So those things are great. 4x4 is a requirement if you want to enjoy that lifestyle. See, what happens is, I'll tell you about 4x2 and 4x4. 4x2 is the rear wheel drive. Rear wheel drive is good. It's actually better than front wheel drive. So rear drive mein kya hota hai ki when you're going up the hill, the front wheels are free. The rear wheel drive, all the load and the traction needs to be here. So it is rear wheel drive. So it's obviously better than a regular SUV to climb and go on bad roads. And obviously the ground clearance is also great. But when it starts slipping, when it starts raining, it'll start slipping. And that's when you need to engage the four-wheel drive system. So I've been through a lot of situations where the car has started slipping, and then I've engaged it and I've been able to go forward. So if you really want to enjoy that lifestyle, you can really pay extra and get the 4x4. So that would be a complete Thar. But if you think that you are not going to do any of those things, going out in the dirt, you just want a vehicle for the city, and you want to not pay extra for that, and you get the 1.5 liter diesel also now in that, which makes the car a lot cheaper, then you could actually go for that. But if you want to do the things that you would see in my Instagram account, take a look. Those are the things that are only possible with the 4x4 version. So that's about it. I would really encourage everyone to buy the Thar and follow the rules. Thar is not for driving on the footpaths, driving on dividers, driving on the opposite side of the carriageway. It's not for that. It's guys, I would tell you to follow the traffic rules. And whoever has got the Thar, it doesn't mean you just drive it where a vehicle is not supposed to be driven, right? Follow the local traffic rules and things like that, and make sure that you enjoy the vehicle. thoroughly. I hope that I have been able to convey what the Thar is about. Maybe this would make your decision easy if you're planning to buy a Thar 2-door. So once the Thar 5-door comes, I'm going to do another video on it. I'm going to go and drive it and we'll take a look at it. Let's see how it is. And one thing about the 5-door is that it's going to be a big generational change. Thar came in 2020. It's been 4 years now, and this would be a major update. So you're going to have a lot of changes in the whole platform. It's just not an extended vehicle that you put another door and you make the old Thar. It's a thoroughly different vehicle and has major changes to the platform. So let's not compare it to the 2-door Thar. It's a completely different vehicle, and it's going to have a very different utility also. So let's wait for that. Subscribe to the channel, guys, because if you want to see these videos that are I'm trying to make some unique videos. I'm trying to give you information that nobody would give you on other channels on YouTube. If you want to continue receiving this information, please subscribe, and we're going to be catching up in a few days again. Ciao, bye.